day, I get on this here app and I see more and more countries coming together not out of love for one another, right? Not out of world peace. They're coming together because our government is trying to hurt people for fun, because that's the stock that they come from. That's the history that they come from. They hurt people for fun. And now they've made it to and then I have to get up here and I still have to see people in these goofy ass hats. I live in a part of Indiana where during the elections there were those flags everywhere. There was a man, he literally on his fence, he said, you know, go this administration. I refuse to say that fucker's name. I really do. Like, he said, go this administration, clear him out, round him up. He was like, Jesus Christ is king and dump truck is his leader or something. Like, it was some bullshit. And now silence. Silence. Nobody has that rhetoric up anymore. Nobody has that foolishness up anymore. The messed up part about it is that some of y'all think that because of y'all's privilege, because of the color that your skin, that other countries won't come over here and rock your shit. You think that you won't wake up and your shit look like Gaza. They don't give a fuck about what God you serve. They don't give a fuck about that you paying your taxes. If you start something, there's gonna be some foolishness. And all these rich motherfuckers want to send our kids to war. Bitch, send your fucking child. How come when we finally start to get our lives together, how come when we finally start to pull ahead as minorities, as women, as LGBTQ, as literally anything, because they're coming after everybody? How come when we finally get this shit together and we finally have some modicum of peace? I literally told people during this person's first term that he, because of his personality type, he was going to retaliate against the American people for voting in a black man. And keep in mind, that black man was the best president we have ever had, ever. Argue with your mama, I don't give a fuck. Because he was... If Obama had done even a quarter, if he had even said part of what he wanted to do, if it even sounded remotely like what is happening right now, he would have been impeached. This administration, when they had their first term, they weren't able to do all of what they wanted to do because of COVID. And I thank God for COVID, which is awful to say because there's so many people that passed. And I'm so sorry for those people. I had people that passed. I had multiple people that fucking passed. But thank God for COVID. Because it stopped his ass from doing a lot of what he wanted to do. And I told y'all he was going to retaliate. I literally told y'all because of his personality type, he's going to pick out a minority. He's going to demonize that minority. That's what he's doing. I said he's going to make all these goofy ass laws to benefit him and his friends, and he's going to take all of our money. That's what he's doing. I said he's going to literally destroy America. That's what he's doing. He is picking on other countries. He is poking the bear so that they will retaliate against us instead of just going after his ass. That's what he's fucking doing! rule, bitch. I don't care. Everybody deserves to eat. Everybody deserves to have clean water and air. Bitch, you're here too. That includes you. You fucking dumbass. That includes you.
All right, Shalom Akim. Shalom, Shalom, Lahab Choyim. All right. Shabbat Shalom, by the way. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Coming with another lesson through the Spirit and Lord willing to be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chahakudash. Double honors into the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, from I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. All right, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. All right, and you're understanding, you're seeing, all right, you're seeing the importance of understanding prophecy. You know what I'm saying? If you do not understand prophecy, you're going to be, all right, you're going to be in a very mournful state like this female right here. You know what I'm saying? Eve is very emotional right now. You know what I'm saying? Eve is distraught. She's confused. She's worried. She's concerned. She's, you know what I'm saying? She's unstable. She's unstable. All right. This is the look of someone who is unstable in the mind. All right. And this is what happens when you don't know prophecy. This is what happens when you can't see the bigger picture. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it is. You know, you always have Jake. You know what I'm saying? They'll ride for everybody's causes. You know what I'm saying? No matter how wicked it is, what have you. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there. Right now, we talking about squarely prophecy, man, because all these things must come to pass. You see what I'm saying? All these things must come to pass. It's Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9. It says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." And this is what the prophets have been warning you was going to happen for decades. That World War III will come. That all of America's allies will turn against her. That martial law will be established, will be enacted. And a new world will formulate all around you. And that's what's happening, man. You see what I'm saying? That's what's happening. Let's get this book of Matthew. All right. For all these decades, these so-called pastors and leaders, all right, in your good old Christian church, they should have been warning you about all these things, but they weren't. They weren't warning you that this day was coming. You see what I'm saying? That's the prophet's job. That's the prophet's duty. And beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone on down, you know what I'm saying, they have been prophesying of these things. You see what I'm saying? Back when it wasn't popular to speak on them. You see what I'm saying? When the prophet is speaking these things during the time of peace, during the time of plenty, you see what I'm saying? Everybody looks at the prophet sideways. But when everything starts going down, when everything starts happening, then all of a sudden they're looking at the prophets in a different light. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famine, and earthquakes, and famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, man. You know what I'm saying? And she mentioned that there's a great divide, you know what I'm saying, within America. All right, that's that civil war that we keep talking about, that's prophesied in the scriptures. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and chapter 16, and the Lord Yahushua alluded to it, all right, in the precept that we just got. You know what I'm saying? Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. And nation shall rise against nation. You see what I'm saying? When you go into that word for nation, the Greek word is ethnos. All right, that's where you get the word ethnicity. So one ethnicity is going to be against another ethnicity. We're going to see so-called blacks against whites. We're going to see all that shit, man. You can see it ramping up right now. You see what I'm saying? You can see it ramping up right now. It says pestilence, famines, earthquakes. We're seeing the earthquakes. Famines. What's going on with these farms? These farms aren't producing much. So what's going to be ending up in your shelves, on your store shelves? Not much. Not much. You see what I'm saying? They're shutting down the farmlands. They're shutting down all these different produce centers. You see what I'm saying? These different meat farms and meat producing plants. You know what I'm saying? Or production plants, I should say. You know, they're closing all of it down. There's going to be a famine. Trust. There's going to be a famine. Pestilence. We're seeing another strain coming out. And according to Billy Boy Gates, you know what I'm saying? He's saying that this next one is going to be more powerful than the last one. Remember what he was saying back in, I want to say 2022, 2023 or whatever. Yeah, I think it was 2023. All right. He and his wife was saying that, you know, this one didn't catch their attention, but the next one will. He was speaking in terms of the pestilence. So we're going to see it. We're going to see it. And we're going to see it very soon. Right now, your boy Trump is pushing for the Insurrection Act. You know what I'm saying? So we about to see the escalation here very soon. All right. Let me get this in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 24, it says, He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. And as she mentioned, you know what I'm saying, all those slogans, all those flags everywhere, you know what I'm saying, those Trump flags, those bumper stickers everywhere, you know what I'm saying, you don't see them no more. You don't see them no more. Right? You don't see them no more. All those little banners on everybody's lawn talking about Trump, less taxes. Trump, you pay less. Kamala, you pay more. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Those banners aren't on everybody's lawns no more. Because the prices ain't gone down, not one bit. Not one bit. As a matter of fact, they've increased. Hundreds of billions of dollars are being floated everywhere. And not a cent of that money has gone into the American people, right? Not a cent has gone into the pockets of these American people. You see? All right. MAGA, you gotta face the music, man. You've been played. You've been played. There's a I was I was talking to my brother the other day, and we was reminiscing on one of our favorite video games called Uncharted 2. And at the beginning of the at the beginning of the game, Nate was in jail. He was in prison, and he was playing hand puppets, and he said, "Face it, genius, you've been played." You know, and that's you MAGAs right now, man. You MAGAs have been played. Okay, you can clearly see that he's reneged on everything. He's not even talking about giving you $2,000 anymore for all that tariff stuff that was going on. He said that he was going to give you what was it, $2,000? Shit, he ain't even floating that up no more, man. But he's willing to give up to $100,000 to Greenlanders. You see, this is what it is, man. And the world is watching. The world is watching. She started off with that video saying that all these nations are coming together. You know what I'm saying? All these nations are coming together because they can see that this place Babylon the Great has become the greatest threat. You know what I'm saying? It's not Russia, it's not China, it's not Pakistan, it's not India, it's not Iran, it's nobody else but America. America is the biggest threat. You see? Proverbs 26 and verse 26. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Okay? His wickedness is being shown throughout the whole world, man. And this is why you see the split amongst allies, American allies. You know what I'm saying? They're stepping away from her. Canada. I'm looking at an article right now. I'm looking at an article right now from RT. It says China is more predictable than the United States. China is more predictable than the United States, says the Canadian Prime Minister. So America's own allies can't trust her. And this is prophecy. This is prophecy. Obadiah 1:7. You know what I'm saying? This is prophecy, man. So as a matter of fact, let me read that. All right, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Okay, so all these nations are going to betray America. You see? Because America can no longer be trusted. China is more predictable than the U.S., says Canadian Prime Minister. And one of the things that trust leans upon is predictability. You see what I'm saying? If I can predict that, hey, if I'm in a jam, I can count on my friend. You know what I'm saying? I can count on my buddy to help me out. You know what I'm saying? And he can count on me to do the same. That's predictability. All right, that's reliability and reliance. All right, somebody that's reliable is also predictable. You see? But when someone is unpredictable, what happens? The trust erodes. You see what I'm saying? And this is what's going on. Right? Let me get this real quick. Scriptures say, meddle not with him that is subject, that is given to change. Let me see if I worded that right. So this is this is Proverbs chapter 24, verse 21. It reads, my son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole principle right there, man. You don't meddle with someone who is constantly who's constantly shiftable. You know what I'm saying? Who's never focused on one thing. You know what I'm saying? Who can never stand on his word. You see? If they broke 400 treaties, 400 some treaties with the so-called Native Indians, what makes you think that they won't break the Abraham they won't break the international alliance, you know what I'm saying? What makes you think that they won't break that? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. What makes you think that they won't break those agreements? Huh? Destroying the Nord Stream pipeline, all right? That's harming your own allies. What makes you think that they won't do something like that, something underhandedly or backstabbingly like that? You see? So let me show a couple articles real quick. All right, bear with me. All right. So this is from RT News. It says, I quote unquote, I convinced myself not to bomb Iran. Listen to the hubris coming from this guy, man. I mean, this dude is the epitome of a narcissist. And that is not a lie. That's not a lie. He just got a street. He just got a street named after him. So yeah, man, this guy is his look is more stout than his fellows. I'll say that. It says Israel and the Arab states helped dissuade the U.S. president from launching airstrikes, according to media reports. Now we know damn well that these Amalekites want war with Iran. We know that. We know that. You see what I'm saying? So what changed? That's the question. What changed? U.S. President Donald Trump has insisted that the decision to refrain from bombing Iran is his own and not influenced by any third parties. Trump has repeatedly threatened military action against the Islamic Republic amid ongoing violent protests in Iran. Salakia. Salakia had to take a call. Let's see. It says Trump has repeatedly threatened military action against the Islamic Republic amid ongoing violent protests in Iran. Unrest erupted throughout the country in late December over economic hardship and inflation, but evolved into broader anti-government demonstrations, leaving hundreds dead. Addressing the protesters earlier this week, he said, "Help is on the way. Help is on its way." All right? Hey, man, this dude is torn between two opinions. All right? This guy is torn between two opinions. That's crazy. Let me see real quick. All right. Yeah, I think that's the precept. So this is real quick. This is 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 21. It says, "And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions?" You know what I'm saying? And I just thought that was a funny little thing to bring out. You know what I'm saying? All right. Of course, Elijah was speaking to the children of Israel at that time. You know what I'm saying? But this is clearly a guy here who is torn between two opinions. On the one hand, he's going to take out Iran. You know what I'm saying? He's going to help the protesters, and then all of a sudden, boom, here's this change. All right. So the question is, what caused this change? All right. And don't listen to what this dude's saying. You know what I'm saying? I convinced myself. No, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? This is a puppet. All right, this is a puppet. He was told not to strike, but why? Why? Well, let's find out why. Check this out. This is from Yahoo News. It says, Iran summons European ambassadors over solidarity with protesters. All right, that's the Iranian foreign minister right there. It says, Iran said on Monday it had summoned the ambassadors of Germany, France, and the UK. Germany, France, and the UK. These are NATO allies. These are NATO countries. They were summoned to its foreign ministry over expressions of solidarity by their leaders with protesters in Iran, where demonstrations have been met with a harsh crackdown. A statement carried by the state broadcaster said that videos of the unrest were shown during the meeting. That videos of the unrest was shown during the meeting. The foreign ministry said violent acts had crossed the boundaries of peaceful demonstrations. Germany's Foreign Office confirmed that its ambassador had been summoned. The Foreign Ministry of Paris also said that its ambassador had been summoned, saying Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi discussed latest developments in the country with the European ambassadors who expressed their concern. There was no explicit confirmation of the summons from London. Government sources said the ambassador had attended a scheduled appointment at the foreign ministry in Tehran. All right, so that's all I'm going to get on that. All right, you got the point. Ambassadors were summoned to Iran, okay, to view this particular footage. So let's look at what this particular footage shows. All right. So here the officials in Iran are displaying to the European envoys, all right, how the Mossad and the CIA were involved. They were working together behind the scenes to create the chaos and the riots that took place in Iran. Check it out. All right, and then later on in the video, they show how the tactics are very similar to what happened in Minnesota. All right. right, so as you can see, the curtain is pretty much down. You know what I'm saying? The skirt was lifted. All right, the skirt was lifted. So in the last ditch effort, okay, Iran, excuse me, Israel in response had told Trump, "Don't attack them, don't attack them," because now, all right, now Israel is locked in with that. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey man, the cat's out the bag. Cat's out the bag. They can clearly see what's going on now. All right. These envoys were summoned over there to Iran to see the footage for themselves. You see what I'm saying? That there was nothing peaceful about these protests. Nothing peaceful about it. All right. So let's go back. All right. So this is from RT News. It says disorder instead of protest. Who tried to radicalize Iran's streets and why it failed? Radicalization, diaspora politics, and fears of foreign interference have turned public discontent into a dead end. It says the wave of protests in Iran is showing signs of gradual decline. The number of people on the streets is decreasing. All right. Turned out that so many of them were receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's a very big deal because right now, due to the sanctions, all right, Iran's economy is pretty much falling apart. All right, their economy is falling apart. So now $1 to Iran is worth so much of their currency. I can't even remember what it is now. I think it was in the thousands. You know what I'm saying? But that's for $1. That's for $1. And if the CIA can go up in there and remember the jackals. Remember the jackals. You have the economic hitmen, you have the jackals, and then you have the military. The three-step protocol in order to destabilizing a country. You see what I'm saying? The economic hitmen had to have failed multiple occasions. They bring in the jackals. The jackals come in and they either assassinate or they create a coup. And this is the result of what you've been seeing. All right, this coup that took place. You see? And if that fails, then they bring in the military. Okay? And Bibi Milikowski just told your boy Trump to stand down. All right, don't hit him. Don't hit him. Why? Because their image is now tied to this. All right, they weren't anticipating the people of Iran. You know what I'm saying? Going and summoning all these other ambassadors to Tehran and showing them this footage. And this footage clearly demonstrates that the CIA and the Mossad were in there. All right? Because where did they get the gun? Where did the protesters get the guns from? Where did the protesters get the bombs from? You saw blown up buses. You saw buses blown up. You saw entire buildings engulfed in flames. You see what I'm saying? This isn't from ordinary protesters. All right? Because why were mosques being burned down? You see? I believe it was a total of like 12 mosques that were burned down. Mosques in Iran. Make that one make sense. You see what I'm saying? So there was nothing, all these things, all these narratives had so many holes in them. And now that the ambassadors of these NATO countries have seen the footage for themselves, that it was by the result of America and Israel. You see what I'm saying? And the timing of it all happening right after Benjamin Mikulski pays Trump a visit. All of this happening right after. Okay? So this is going to play a part in all these nations turning against the horde, turning against America, man. You see? So it says, however, the protests have not been uniform in their nature. When the first demonstrations erupted late last year, they were driven by socioeconomic problems, rising prices, inflationary pressures, employment issues, and quality of life concerns. These demands were quite pragmatic and came from real social groups. You see, it always starts organic. You know what I'm saying? Or shall I say, it always starts with a premise, all right, that is real. You see? All these socioeconomic problems, those were real. But then it turns into something else, just like BLM, just like Occupy Wall Street, all these types of things, man. They start off with actual legitimate concerns. And then it morphs. You see? And that's how you know that these shadowy figures are behind it. Okay? So it says these demands were quite pragmatic and came from real social groups, primarily from the merchant class, which historically holds particular significance in Iranian society. Moreover, Iranian President Mahmoud, I was thinking Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, Masoud Pezeshkian, Slovakia, can't pronounce his name, but and Supreme Prime Minister Ayatollah Ali Khamenei openly acknowledged people's right to protest, recognizing the validity of their discontent and demands. All right. But as time went on, however, things changed. By January the 3rd or the 4th, the initial demonstrators stopped protesting and returned to their jobs, but radical elements swiftly infiltrated the streets, using the social agenda as a pretext. The escalation of protests resulted in mass riots, assaults on infrastructure, and violence. The situation was perceived differently in Iran and globally. Many in Iran viewed this turn of events negatively, seeing it as a threat to public stability, while among the I can't read that word, Slovakia, but among the community and non-systemic opposition, these actions were interpreted positively as evidence of the protest movement's determination and irreversibility. All right. So that's pretty much it, man. You know what I'm saying? What I want to grab. But I'm going to grab this here. Let's go to, let's see. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13, because all of this is going to have a major blowback. All this is going to have a major blowback. The woman at the beginning of the video, all right, what did she say? She said, don't think for a second that these other nations ain't going to come in and mess things up. You know what I'm saying? These other nations will come in and jack your shit up. You see? And that's what the prophecies say. Isaiah 13 and verse 17, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. What did she say? She said this boy DJT is poking the bear. You know what I'm saying? He's poking the bear, man. All right. And these Medes are representative of the Russians. Okay. And they will not regard silver, and they will not regard in the gold, man. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. They're not going to care about if you got money, if you got high social status. They're not going to care. They're going to come in and they're going to tear some shit up. Simple as that. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, which is America, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, all right, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, and that's what's going to happen when these nukes drop, man. You know what I'm saying? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. All right, but the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. You see? So this place is going to become a desolation, man, after them nukes drop. And the only thing that's going to be left, all right, the only things that's going to be able to inhabit it are desert creatures. All right? So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I didn't want to drag this on too long. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to get ready to head on out. All right. But I just had to report on that. You know what I'm saying? That there's a reason for this whole about face from Trump. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, oh, I convinced myself. No, the hell you didn't. Lying ass nigga. But you know, this is one of the things that's gonna further cause the divide amongst NATO. All right, because they can clearly see, hey man, this is not working out, man. You're leading all of us into World War III. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want no part of this. You see what I'm saying? We don't want no part in this, man. You know? And so they're going to turn on America, man. All right? After the Nord Stream pipeline, after you put sanctions, after you threatened us with sanctions when we're supposed to be your allies, all right? All of this, hey, man, it's going to cause these jokers to turn away from her. You know? Say the hell with you. You see what I'm saying? And these small hats know exactly why they know exactly that this is going to affect their image. All right, let me end it off with this video. Bear with me. All right. So, before I get this video, let me grab this here in Jeremiah chapter 49, because this is all under the behest of these small hats. You know what I'm saying? These tiny tops, man. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter Slacky. I mean Isaiah. Slacky. All right, Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. It reads, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom." And this is the thing, man. These Amalekites really think, all right, that they are not Edomites, when they know damn well their elites know exactly that they are Edomites. You see what I'm saying? The American Edomite, all right, the small hat Edomite, they're both Edomites. You see what I'm saying? They're both Edomites. These so-called JOOs, they are Edomites. All right? It's just that the Amalekites, which are these so-called JOOs, are the head tribe of the nation of Edom. You see? And that's the part that they won't tell you. So therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. You see what I'm saying? It's these Amalekites that's going to draw out the whole of Edom and the rest of these nations into war. All right. So let's listen to this real quick and close it out. Shalom.
One of the ways of bringing about the collapse of a nation is by bringing about the collapse of its economy. Another way is by sending it to war. A nation can lose its glory from war. That is how it happened in the past. The Babylonians, the Persians. The Romans were never destroyed because the Romans split up into many countries. Who is Rome today? Europe and the United States. Rabbis tell us that before Mashiach comes, there will be many wars. And these wars will eventually bring about the collapse of Edom. Not only the economy will be in ruins, but many people will lose their life as a result of this war. And you know this World War II that will be child's play compared to a third war that will occur later on. And all those goyim who brought about so much pain and suffering on the Jewish people will be punished. Every square inch of Europe is drenched with Jewish blood. So I'm not envious of anybody living in Europe at this time. Before a new world is built, the old has to be destroyed.
Right? Before the new world is built, all right, before the new world is built, the old has to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And these devils really think, all right, they really think that that they are the chosen, while their elites know the truth. This man is not an luminary. You see what I'm saying? He's just a low-level rabbi. All right? But the elites, we're talking about the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Warburgs, Gettys, and the DuPonts, you know what I'm saying? The Oppenheimers, these elite families, they know the truth. This man doesn't. All right? So I'm going to cut that there, man. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect in the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.